Hello everyone, you're welcome to my channel. You're welcome to Decenstitch. If you're a new subscriber or returning subscriber, you're welcome. Please kindly like, share, comment, subscribe. Please subscribe and click the notification bell. Thank you. For the strapless corset, these are the bodice measurements you will need. Upper bust length 6 inches, bust point length 10.5 inches, under bust length 14 inches, round upper bust 33 inches divided by 4 equal to 8.25 inches, bust 37 inches divided by 4 equal to 9.25 inches, round under bust 30 inches divided by 4 equal to 7.5 inches, waist length 18 inches for front and 16.5 inches for back, waist 30.5 inches divided by 4 equal to 7.625 inches, bust apart 7 inches divided by 2 equal to 3.5 inches. We won't be adding any sewing allowance to this. We are going to draft it as it is. This is how I measure front and back waist length. I always tie a tape rule or elastic on the waist, then measure from the shoulder to the waist. I measure the front and I measure the back separately and write it down. This is how I get my cup size for every body type. What I do is bust minus round upper bust divided by 4. My bust is 37 inches. My round upper bust is 33 inches. So that is 37 minus 33 divided by 4. And that is 4 inches divided by 4, which is 1 inch. So the cup size I'm using for this person is 1 inch. I'll use that 1 inch to create the cup for the front. Then the bust for the front will be 9.25 inches plus 1 inch, which is the cup size. That is 10.25 inches. The back will be 9.25 inches minus 1, and that will be 8.25 inches for the back. I believe the back is always smaller than the front. If you look at a woman's body, if you measure the back, the circumference, if you measure the back and you measure the front, you will realize that the front is longer than the back because of the breast. So I use that method to minus from my back when I'm patterning the bust area and add it to the front to form the cup. This is the way I make my bustier or my corset. I'm going to leave a little space here, about 1 inch. So this is my starting line. This line is going to be my upper bust line. The upper bust length is 6 inches. So I'm going to start from 6 inches. I don't need from the upper bust to the shoulder, so that is why I'm omitting that part. I'm going to start from the 6 inches, which is my upper bust. So from that 6 inches, I'm going to measure my bust point length, and that is 10.5. This is my bust point length. From the upper bust line again, I'll place my 6 inches here and measure my under bust length, which is 14. My waist length is 18 inches. This is my under bust, and this is my waist. My round upper bust is 8.25. My bust measurement for the back is 8.25 also. The under bust measurement, the round under bust is 7.5. Plus my dart allowance. My dart allowance is usually 1, but if I had 1 here, it's going to be more than these other ones. So I'm going to make it 8.25 also. So I have 0.75 as my dart for the back. The waist is 7.625. I'm going to measure 8.25 also. So I have 8.25 here, 8.25 here, 8.25, 8.25. I'm making everything the same. Now I'm going to measure my bust apart, which is 3.5. I'll measure it all the way. So the next thing to do is to place my darts. On the under bust length line, I have 8.25 here, but my round under bust is 7.5. So 8.25 minus 7.5, that is 0.75. So my dart for this place will be 0.75. I will share it into 2. On the waistline, I also have 8.25 here, but my waist measurement is 7.625. So 8.25 minus the 7.625, I have around about 0.625. So I'll divide it into 2 and place it here. So now I'm going to connect my darts. Then I'll connect it above the bust points because this is the back. Let me label this center back. I like to place my dart above the bust points for the back, about 1 inch above. I'm going to bring down the side because of the armhole. I want the armhole to relax well, so I'm going to bring down the side 1.5. I'm going to bring down the side by 1.5 inches. Then the center back, I like to bring it down also, depending on how low you want your back. If you want your back really low, you bring it down to the bust point line. So I'm going to measure 3 inches for the back, the center back. For the side, I'm bringing it down by 1.5 because of the armhole, to create space, enough space for the armhole area. While for the center back, I'm bringing it down for a good look, for the corset to actually look nice. I don't like it when it's straight, all the way straight at the back, so I like to give mine a slight curve. The last thing I'm going to do is to make the back piece shorter. Remember when I measured this length, I used 18 inches, which is the waist length for the front. But the waist length for the back is 16.5 because there is no breast at the back, so the back is always shorter in length. So I'm going to make this shorter by taking out the difference. That is 8 inches minus 16.5, that is 1.5. So I'm going to take out 1.5 along the bust point line. The 1.5, I'll divide this into 2, that is 0.75. So I'll mark 0.75 above the bust point line and 0.75 below the bust point line. I'll do the same by the side. And connect it. It's easier for me to take it out this way than to be calculating it when I'm trying to draw my lines. It can get confusing. So I'd rather do the normal front length, then take it out at the bust area. And also, though the side is straight, but when you wear it, it's not straight. It blends well with your shape. So don't mind that the side is straight. It doesn't mean it will still blend well with your shape. Especially after taking the dart, it brings this place in a bit, so it still gives a slanted shape by the side. So I'm going to be folding this off. I'll pick it from this upper one to this lower one. That's where I'm going to fold it. So this is the length for my back. This 1.5 inch I'm taking out. I know I'll balance it at the front, because you might be wondering, how will it balance by the side with the front piece? It will balance. I like to make the back shorter because it gives a better fitting and you don't have any puckering effect when you fix your zip at the back. If you check a female body, you will realize that the back is always shorter than the front. If you measure from the shoulder to the waist, you realize that the front is always longer than the back. So that is why I always shorten the back of my outfits. Now I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to cut out this side of the dart. We're going to discard the dart. So I'll cut through this side for this piece, and for this piece, I'll cut through the other side of the dart. I'm cutting from here because I'm making my back low. I'm going to close this place. So I'm going to label this paper. This is my waist. This is my waist. I'm going to cut 2 pieces of this, and I'm also going to cut 2 pieces of this. I'm going to add my zip allowance here. Then I'm going to draw my green line. So my back piece is ready. Now I'm going to make the pattern for the front. You can choose to make your front first or make your back first. I'm used to making my back first. So I'm going to measure the circumference and the length I did in the back. I'm going to repeat the same thing here. I'm going to leave 1 inch here just to have a starting point. Then I'm going to place this on 6 inches. My upper bust length is 6 inches. So from 6 inches, I'll measure my bust point length. That is 10.5. After that, I'll measure my under bust length. That is 14. Then my waist length for the front is 18. I'll repeat the same on this side. 10.5, 14, and 18. Then I'll rule the line. The next thing to do is to place my circumference. So what I'm going to do, the same way I made the back, the same measurement with the bust, that was 8.25. I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to measure the bust on all these lines. This is my upper bust, my bust points, my under busts, and my waists. So my bust measurement for the front is 10.25. So I'll be measuring 10.25 all the way. Having the side straight makes the job way easy. There's a mistake here. This is 10.25. I made a mistake here. So this is not needed. It's a mistake. Now I'm going to put the circumference. I'm going to mark the circumference. I'm going to start with the round upper bust. The round upper bust is 8.25, but I have 10.25 here, which is my bust measurement. That is the wideness of this. I'm going to minus the 8.25 from 10.25, and that is 1.95. I'll be placing the 1.95 inch as a dart. I'll do the same for the under bust and the waist. I'll simply minus what I need from the 10.25. So whatever that is left, I'll place it as a dart. This is the easier way and the fastest way to do this. So before I can place that, I need to put my bust apart, which is 3.5. I'm going to place 3.5 inch all the way down for my bust apart. Now I'm going to place my circumference measurements. I'm going to start with the upper bust. So my round upper bust is 8.25. Remember, I have 10.25 all the way down. So I'm going to minus 8.25 from 10.25. So 10.25 minus 8.25, that is 2 inches. So that means I'm going to take out 2 inches here. I'll be taking it out from the dart line, which is my bust apart line. So the 2 inches, I'll divide it into 2. Take 1 inch out here and 1 inch out here. Then I'll be left with 8.25 here. My bust is still 10.25, so I'm leaving it that way. Then my under bust, my round under bust measurement is 7.5. So I'm going to minus 7.5 from 10.25. That is 2.75. The 2.75, I'll divide it into 2. So I can equally place it on both sides. So on the under bust line, I'm going to measure the 2.75 divided into 2 is 1.375. I'll measure 1.375 on both sides. My waist measurement is 7.625. So I'm going to minus the 7.625 from my 10.25. That is 2.625. That 2.625, I'll divide it by 2, so I can have it equally on both sides. That is 1.3125 on each side. Now I'm going to connect my darts. If you don't understand how I just did this manipulation, try and go back and watch it again calmly. You will understand it. So from my bust point, I'm going to connect it to this. Then connect this to the one on the waist. I'll do the same on this side. From the bust again, from the bust point, now I'm going to connect it to the dot on the upper bust. Remember, by the side I came down by 1.5 here for the armhole. I'm going to do the same here. What I took out on the back piece, I'm going to draw it like a side dart here. So remember, the length of the front is 18 inches, length of the back is 16.5. 18 inches minus 16.5, I'm going to get 1.5, which I took out at the back. So I'm going to do the same. I'm going to divide the 1.5 on both sides. That is 0.75 on both sides. Then I'm going to draw it like a dart, as if I'm drawing a side dart. What I need now is to draw the shape of my corset. I'm going to measure 3.5 all round. From the bust point or apex to my underbust is 3.5. So that is what I used to make this circle. My bust apart is 3.5 too, so it helped to make it better. After drawing my circle, now I'm going to draw around this circle to create my corset. I'm going to measure 1 inch above my bust point line. You can go a little higher if you don't want your cleavage to show. Then I'm going to measure 0.5 inch and draw a straight line here. I'm going to connect this 0.5 into this curve. Then this side of the curve, I'm going to connect it straight up. And connect it here. Then make a curve line here. From the top of the circle. Then I'll bring it down here. So this is the shape for the cup. There are different shapes of cup, but this is the one I'm going with. Then I'm going to label this cup area. This is 1, this is 2.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please kindly like, share, comment, subscribe if you're new here, and click the notification bell. Thank you.